The worst ways to die, according to science. Death. It's the one thing none of us can escape. No matter how rich, powerful, or careful we are, it's coming. Someday. Somehow. But let's be honest. Some ways of dying are worse than others, and science has taken the time, rather disturbingly, to explain which ways are the most excruciating, horrifying, and downright nightmarish. Today, we're counting down the worst ways to die, according to science. From being burned alive, to drowning, to a snake whose venom makes your body bleed from the inside out. You might think you've seen horror before, but trust me, by the time we hit number 1, you'll look at life, and maybe even your morning coffee, a little differently. So sit back, maybe don't eat anything for the next 15 minutes, and let's begin. Number 10. Electrocution. We've all felt that tiny zap when you plug something in wrong, that sharp sting that makes your arm twitch. Now imagine that, amplified by 100,000 volts. When a lethal charge of electricity hits the body, it doesn't just shock you, it hijacks your nervous system. Your muscles lock in place so violently that bones can literally snap under their own tension. The skin swells and burns, and in extreme cases, the pressure from the contracting muscles can actually make the eyes pop from their sockets. You know, we often think of the electric chair as instant, as if death is mercifully quick. But the truth, many victims remained conscious for several seconds, feeling their insides boil while their bodies convulsed uncontrollably. Barbaric doesn't even begin to describe it. Number 9. Radiation exposure. Here's what's terrifying about radiation. You can't see it, smell it, or feel it until it's already killing you. Those who suffered after the Chernobyl disaster in 1986 experienced what's called acute radiation syndrome. Their cells literally began to fall apart, DNA unraveled, tissue died, and internal organs shut down one by one. It's the kind of death that creeps up silently. No knife, no wound, no weapon, just invisible energy rewriting the very code that keeps you alive. You don't even realize it until your skin begins to blister and your blood refuses to clot. If there's a definition of invisible horror, this is it. Number 8. Crucifixion. This one is infamous. We all know the image, a man nailed to a cross, but the reality of crucifixion is so horrific it gave us a new word, excruciating, literally meaning out of the cross. Victims weren't nailed through their hands, as you often see in art. No, the nails went through the wrists, piercing the median nerve, one of the most sensitive nerves in the human body. Imagine a constant, searing pain running from your arms to your chest while you slowly suffocate because every breath requires you to push up on your nailed feet. You don't die instantly. You die over hours, sometimes days. And as if that weren't enough, insects would swarm the wounds, feeding on open flesh. It wasn't just torture. It was psychological, physical, and spiritual destruction. Number 7. Burning alive. Let's be real. Even a small burn hurts like hell. Now imagine that feeling multiplied across your entire body. The human skin has thousands of pain receptors. When fire touches it, every nerve lights up in chaos. The pain is so intense that the brain sometimes shuts down in shock. But before that happens, you inhale hot air, burning your lungs, searing your throat, and choking on your own screams. There's a reason so many ancient cultures used burning as punishment. It was the ultimate agony. Scientists even studied what would happen if someone fell into lava. Your skin would literally boil, muscles would spasm, and your skull could literally crack from the heat as your brain cooks inside. There's no poetic way to describe it. Burning to death is the definition of torment. Number 6. Freezing to death. It sounds peaceful, doesn't it? Freezing to death, like drifting off to sleep in the snow. But no, it's the exact opposite. First, your body starts shivering uncontrollably. Then your muscles stiffen. Blood leaves your arms and legs, rushing to protect your vital organs. That's when frostbite hits, and it burns. Yes, burning pain from the cold. The irony of hypothermia is that as you die, your brain starts malfunctioning so badly you feel hot. That's why rescuers often find victims who stripped off their clothes, their final moments spent confused, naked, and delirious. So no, it's not gentle. It's slow, painful, and cruel. Number 5. Drowning. You might have heard someone say drowning is peaceful, that after panic comes calm. Science says not exactly. As water fills your lungs, your body fights desperately for air. You gasp, but inhale only water. Your throat seizes in a spasm called laryngospasm, a final desperate reflex. The agony isn't just physical, it's pure terror. Your body screaming for oxygen, your mind realizing there's no escape. Even survivors describe it as an eternity trapped between panic and blackout. Your lungs burn, your chest tightens, and everything goes silent. If there's a worse way to meet the end, it's near the top of this list. Number 4. Heart attack. We think of it as sudden death, but the moments before a heart attack are where the true pain lies. The arteries narrow, cutting off oxygen to the heart muscle. That muscle, desperate for air, begins to die. The pain radiates from your chest to your arm, your jaw, your back. Many survivors describe it as having an elephant sit on your chest while your body burns from the inside. It's not quick, it's drawn out. And worse, you're aware of every second of it. The cruel part, the panic makes your heart beat faster, accelerating your own demise. Number 3. Pancreatic cancer. Now we're entering a new level of suffering. Dying from cancer is never easy, but pancreatic cancer is uniquely brutal. The pancreas sits deep within the abdomen, surrounded by nerves. When a tumor grows there, it presses on those nerves constantly, causing severe back and stomach pain. Add the nausea, the weakness, the treatment side effects, and the body slowly wasting away. It's relentless. Doctors call it one of the silent killers, because by the time symptoms appear, it's too late. Every breath, every movement hurts. It's not a quick end. It's a slow unraveling of everything that makes life bearable. Number 2. The boomslang snake. It sounds almost harmless, boomslang. But don't be fooled. This African snake delivers a venom so deadly that it literally makes you bleed from every pore. The toxin destroys your body's ability to clot blood, so you start hemorrhaging internally and externally. Gums, nose, eyes all start to leak blood. Then come the tremors, nausea, and fever, followed by total organ failure. The most chilling part is victims stay conscious through much of it. They feel their body falling apart from the inside out. It's one of those deaths that sound too cruel to be real, and yet nature designed it that way. Number 1. Chlorine trifluoride. You probably haven't heard of this one, and maybe that's a good thing. Chlorine trifluoride is a chemical so reactive it can burn through concrete. Scientists once said it's so volatile it can set sand on fire. When it touches flesh, it doesn't just burn the skin, it burns through it, down to the bone, and then it keeps going. Chemist Paul Doherty once described it like this: "The chlorine will turn your bones to gelatin. Your fingers will turn from rods into little rounded stubs. It's chemical hell on earth. You wouldn't even have time to scream before your body liquefied in its own reaction." And the scariest part? This isn't science fiction. Chlorine trifluoride is real, stored in special sealed tanks forbidden for human contact. So there it is, 10 of the most painful, scientifically verified ways to die. It's dark, it's disturbing, but it's also a reminder of just how fragile and miraculous being alive really is. Every heartbeat, every breath, every sunrise we get to see is a small victory over chaos. And maybe that's the real takeaway. If death can be that painful, then living deserves every ounce of gratitude we can give it. So, what do you think? Which of these ways terrified you the most? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the dark corners of science and human history, you know what to do. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and be grateful you're breathing.